with having a tortoise? Why is the left depressing? He could have a tortoise and a child. This is weird. Oh, the power's not working. So, like, the power's gone out in our single man's apartment. I guess that's because he doesn't have a wife. Hello, lovely people. My name is Emma. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. When we deal with hilarious, over-the-top, conservative content on this channel, it tends to be American, or occasionally from the UK. So we're going to mix things up a bit today. I've been sitting on this one for a while. I'm excited to share it because I think it's funny. We're going to take a look at an Iranian conservative pro-marriage video. It's supposed to encourage people, but I think mostly just men, to get married, which in itself is pretty inoffensive. Before we dive in though, today's video is sponsored by MyHeritage, so I'm going to take you on a journey to the very distant past. Hello lovely people, today we are going to time travel thanks to MyHeritage. I have in my hands the MyHeritage DNA testing kit. First things first, you get a little activation card, it gives you a little code, you pop it in online before you send away your DNA. Bish bosh, job done. Next! Instructions. Good. Important. Follow the instructions. Have yourself a nice clean surface prepared to lay out all your materials. We don't want the fly situation going on here. Instead of DNA results, you get just like a half human, half fly child delivered to your doorstep. I don't think that's what happens. I apologise to MyHeritage. You got your envelope for sending off your DNA. You've got your cheek swabs for collecting your DNA. I feel like I'm over-explaining, but better to over-explain and you find it really easy than, you know, the fly situation we talked about. And then you have 2 little vials for collecting your DNA samples. Oh, the other thing you have is your, you have a biohazard bag for placing your DNA in. Nice and safe. Remove a cheek swab from the wrapper. It helps, by the way, if you haven't eaten or drunk anything for half an hour before you start. It just helps you get better results, which is why I am not currently drinking coffee. You're welcome. I don't know why I said you're welcome. It's my results that it would mess up. Scrape the inside of one of your cheeks for 30 to 60 seconds. Open one vial carefully. Insert your swab. You'll notice this little marked part of it. So once you touch the bottom of the vial, wah! And then you make a noise like Crash Bandicoot, and then you carefully replace the lid. Boom, one done. Make sure you close that tightly. Do I need to mention the fly again? Same thing, other side. Insert your swab. When it touches the bottom, break it off. Now you have 2 little plastic drumsticks to play with. Open your biohazard bag. There's a little cotton pad in here. You just want to place your vials onto the cotton pad, easily peasily, like so. Zippy closed. Pop it into the envelope, stick your postage on, and send it away. Once you're signed up with MyHeritage, you can start building your family tree, finding connections. You can also use their amazing new photo feature, which I'm going to show you right now because I think it's really cool. Here's a photo of little Emma and my mum. Look how adorable we are. There's a swan. This will have been the early 2000s, I guess, so not astonishingly old, but old enough that, you know, it's pretty scratched up. They literally have a feature specifically for removing scratches, and look at this. Bye-bye scratches. Oh, ooh. If there's still scratches there, there's an advanced feature that you can use, but I'm pretty happy with how that's worked. Let's see what the enhance does. This is so cute. I'm going to send this to my mom. Oh, that's so much sharper. Try restore colors. I think this is probably more for black and white, so I'm interested to see how this will affect an already color photo. That looks beautiful. Look at the difference. Look at my gorgeous bed. That looks like a modern photo. Look at my gorgeous little baby face. So we can play with photos. We add what we already know to our family tree and wait for our DNA results to arrive. Hello, lovely people. This is future Emma, which is actually present Emma in the scheme of this thing, but then to you I will still be past Emma because of the way that time works. Forget about all that. The exciting moment is upon us. Let's find out how white I am. You are 77.4% Irish, Scottish and Welsh. That's all Scottish, by the way. Well, I suppose I'm not a DNA expert. 14.9% Greek and South Italian. That's cool. 7.7% Scandinavian. For some reason, I would have thought Scandinavian was higher than Greek and South Italian. I love it. I am so Scottish. I need to tell my Scandinavian friends that I'm one of them. Okay, so that was like a really cute introductory overview. Then we can get into more of the details. In the late 19th century, millions of Scandinavians emigrated to North America. I did not know that. I'm not going to show this because I don't want to show other people's faces on screen, but once you have these DNA results, you can start matching with other people in the database and find people that you are more closely related to. That was really exciting. If you would like to go on a genetic adventure, I don't know. Genetic adventure. That makes it sound kind of gross. If you would like to explore your heritage with MyHeritage, you can click on my link down below to order a DNA kit. Use my code EmmaThorne for free shipping. As an added bonus, you can start a free 30-day trial of MyHeritage's best subscription for family history research, and then if you decide to continue with it, you get a 50% discount. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you to MyHeritage for sponsoring this video. Do check out those links down below. On to the video. Apparently this video was produced by an Iranian conservative cultural centre. Now, I think it's necessary to point out before we begin that while this is a silly, funny, haha, pro-marriage video, the cultural context around marriage and women in Iran is, let's say, contentious right now, if that's the right word. There was a story I read literally yesterday, which I will find a link down below, which alleged that police officers in Iran were saying they were going to put cameras up in public areas to start identifying women who weren't following hijab laws. We talked about the death of a woman called Mahsa Amini, who died in custody after being arrested for allegedly breaking the hijab laws. There have been a number of protests, and these protests have been quashed somewhat violently by Iranian security forces. Here's another important thing to note. The legal age for marriage in Iran is presently 13 for girls and 15 for boys, although marriages can be performed younger. There have been reported increases in child marriage in Iran in recent history. There's also some very interesting marital duties in the civil code of Iran. So a man, as the head of a household, is expected to provide his wife with maintenance costs. The wife has a duty, based on the tamkin, the submission requirement of Sharia law, to fulfill or satisfy her husband's needs at any time. That's not to say, of course, that there aren't plenty of happily married people in Iran for whom these circumstances are functioning. Likewise, there are plenty of good people in Iran who don't abuse these civil codes in order to exert power over their wives. Of course, there will be people who do take advantage of these laws, or who are just practicing the cultural norm, and in doing so, hurting women, restricting their freedoms, restricting their choices. I know it's a real downer for the subject of the video, but that context I feel is important when we're about to look at a pro-marriage video, because marriage for women in Iran can be a distinctly negative thing. A wife in Iran certainly doesn't have the freedoms that a wife in the UK would have. One more disclaimer before we jump in, then I promise we'll go to the video. I do have a partner. I live with my partner. In essence, we're an old married couple already, and we do intend to get married one day, assuming it's financially feasible. So this is not... Any of my reactions are not the bitter old hag, whatever shit I see whenever I talk about women's rights. I'm trying to preempt those YouTube comments. Do you think it will work? No. Here we go. The Cultural Centre's pro-marriage video. Okay, so I understand the concept here. Okay, on the right, we have our chap who is married, and I believe his wife is gently, lovingly waking him up. On the left, his phone is floating, or he's got a friend who is, like, holding an alarm. Was that meant to be his arm? Because it looked like somebody was just like, like, maybe you get woken up by a ghost if you're not married. So, okay. This is a bit cheap, because you could be married without having children, but he's got the blessed little adorable child whose hair he's ruffling as well on the right. And on the left, he's so sad and lonely. Look, his place is a mess. He's got leftover pizza for breakfast is actually great. I guess in some situations it could be depressing, but in general, I feel like that's a good thing. Oh, and a turtle! I've just realized, a tortoise? That's probably a tortoise, right? It's really low res, it's hard to tell. I think that's probably a tortoise. Oh my god, so if you're single, you get a tortoise. What happened to the tortoise when he got married? Has he got a tortoise in the left instead of a wife? Did he cast a spell? Did he engage the help of a djinn or something and wish, in the right-hand scenario, for his tortoise to become his wife, a beautiful woman? He looks smiling there in the left. Here's one for the single folks. If you don't get married, you can have Coca-Cola for breakfast. I hope that tortoise is okay. It looks kind of like, I don't know, it looks like it's going for the pizza or something. No, but if you're married, obviously your wife can pour you an orange juice. Like, it's not that hard to buy yourself orange juice. You can be single and have orange juice. It's weird that was like the whole thing, your wife makes you a delicious meal, I guess. But like the orange juice and the cola, he could just buy him. It's the same. It's just that I guess his wife bought orange juice. Is it that he doesn't know how to shop for himself? Is that what's going on? I'm just confused. He's happier in the right because he's got all that vitamin C. Okay, yep, we got it. Okay, the tortoise is instead of his child. The tortoise represents his child, his missing child, not his wife. My bad. What's wrong with having a tortoise? Why is the left depressing? He's feeding is it because he's not giving his tortoise a good home? Like, he could have a tortoise and a child, and then his child could learn to be responsible by looking after the tortoise. This is weird. Why the tortoise and the orange juice have really thrown me off balance here. Right, you can't rely on a mirror. I love that it's darker. Let's look at that as well. I love that it's darker and a different colour. There's not as nice a mirror. Is it because his wife is like the home decorator? And so on his own, he can't even get it bright enough to look at himself properly in the mirror. And then, of course, in the beautiful conservative fantasy world, he's got his wife to make sure he looks nice. And look, if one of you works and the other one doesn't, and it brings you joy to tidy up your husband before he goes out, that's fine. It's pretty sweet. I can see why they make this an appealing thing. But, like, it's basically being like, if you were married, you could have somebody dress you. You know, you wouldn't have to worry about how you look because you'd have a woman who has a better aesthetic brain solve all those problems for you. That's kind of what it feels like, right? Like, you're probably going to look like shit if you stay single because you don't know how to scrub up nice. A woman does. You don't. This is like a mix of pretty sexist to women in terms of the stereotypical ideas of womanhood, although it's not that surprising because it's Iranian conservative. But it also feels kind of patronizing to men, like they can't even fucking have a cooked meal. Or like, I mean, the man could have had takeaway and ordered orange juice. The idea that you can't have orange juice instead of Coca-Cola unless you have a woman there to sort out your life is really patronizing, right? Or is that just me? Married Iranian man has glasses and therefore is happier. Is it because, am I just stretching? I'm kind of like, in my head, I'm kind of inventing a whole life for this guy, which I feel like is part of what the advert wants you to do, right? It's constructing a narrative here. Is it that? This is what my mind is filling in the blanks. He really needs glasses, right? In both realities. But his wife has nagged him to get an eye test and go and get glasses. So in his single life, he's still like, he can't really see what he's doing. He's going to strain his eyes Although he's not squinting or anything, so I don't know. And look how creased his shirt is. They've really creased up his shirt. That's funny. I never iron. I just throwing that out there. Just if you married me, that wouldn't change. I don't do ironing. We don't have an ironing board. We do have an iron. Sometimes I will steam clothes. And he's just like dressed better in the other one. He's like put more effort into his hair, or his wife has put more effort into his hair. And his office is nicer? Is the implication here that he has a better job that he enjoys more when he's married? I don't know what this is like financially in Iran, but especially it would seem like because the rules kind of state that you must provide for your wife, it would seem like you'd have to work harder to support a bigger family. You know, you'd have to do more in order to make enough money to support a wife and a child. Although he's not got the tortoise anymore. So I guess I'm worried about the tortoise, okay? What's happened to him? I don't feel like that tortoise is being well cared for. Maybe that's part of the point of the advert. If you're like some stupid single man, if you're some stupid man of this age and you're not married yet, you can't even look after a fucking tortoise. Maybe that's what it's saying, I don't know. He's getting takeaway. Hold on, I don't know what this says. Let me get my phone. Okay, it might just be too low res for me to be able to get any of this. We'll assume it's loving words of encouragement or something. If anyone can read it well enough, probably not, but if anyone can read it well enough to translate in the comments, please do. But I'm assuming it's delightful family banter. And then on the left, yeah, just fucking... Oh, look, his monitor's all, like, fixed up with tape as well. I guess either his work is too cheap to replace it, or it's his own monitor and he can't afford to fix it. But again, he would be saving money, surely, as a single man. So I'm not sure I understand how all of this works. Let's carry on. There we go, delicious homemade lunch. Oh, that feel though, when you're scrolling through the takeaway options and just nothing is taking your fancy and you're like, oh, my life sucks. Oh, is this both him? That's kind of clever. It's him in the left and the right and the same scene this time. The composition of this shot is really nice, I will say. The content, obviously, I'm not super sold on, but the composition is real nice. The way they've used that tree line to continue the suggestion of the split screen, but with it being, you know, like constructed as a full world. Now, the single man has a car. Because if this was like an American pro-marriage video, or even like a British one, having a car, I mean, he would have a nicer car. This is obviously they've given him an old banged up car. But, like, taking a cab would be, like, probably the kind of loser option. And having, like, a nice car and driving to work, maybe playing his own music or whatever, that would be, like, the better one. Whereas in this, he's taking a taxi, so I guess it's trying to say, like, he's so well off now that he doesn't have to drive. He can just take a taxi around. Whereas in the other one, it's like he's got to drive this old banger. I don't know, that seems kind of weird to me. That one doesn't jive. I wonder if that's a cultural thing. But obviously, in the right-hand one, he's bought some flowers to give to his missus. You can buy flowers for yourself as well. Did you know that? You can just buy yourself flowers. You can be a single man and have a tortoise and just think, you know what? Some nice yellow flowers would really spruce up my dark, dingy apartment of misery. I will buy myself a nice flower with my income that I have all to myself because I'm not providing for a wife and child. Spending all my money on taxis. Oh, the power's not working. So, like, the power's gone out in our single man's apartment. I guess that's because he doesn't have a wife. Maybe the power went out in both realities, but of course in the other reality, his wife was home to, I don't know, change the fuse or whatever. So I guess it's his birthday? Is it his birthday in his lonely world as well? Because that's sad. So they've thrown a little surprise party, and I understand that he has the wife and the child, and I presume the wife organised the party, but his other family members and his friends could still have been there for him in the single one, right? No, he's fumbling around in the dark on his own in the single world. Oh, they've given him a blue light as well. Maybe that's why they made the power go out, just so they could give him this blue light, just so that one is really cold and one is all warm colours and nice and bright. And he's got his child and he's having a party. I, personally, it's just personal preference, I can't think of anything worse than doing a long day at work and coming home and having the house suddenly full of people. Just suddenly, oh, you've got to socialise and dance around and be all happy and excited at the end of a long working day when you're exhausted. Fucking hell, that sounds like a nightmare. I would much rather be on my own in the blue after a day at work. And he's not on his own. He's got Tortoise. Maybe, I'm just continuing the narrative construction for this guy. Maybe the guy doesn't have any family and it's like his parents-in-law. Maybe that's like the wife's family and that's why he's all alone in the other one. God, look how sad he is. On the left, oh my god, he's so sad. I mean, great acting. He's really fucking sad. Jesus, in his wrinkly shirt with his not working lights and his lack of wife and child. I feel like, and I said this earlier, I feel like it's kind of a rip-off that he's getting so much joy from the child when this is meant to be about marriage. I understand that obviously he couldn't have, in this context, the child without being married. I'd love it if, like, there should be an anti-conservative, like a liberal opposite, like a piss take, where the child is a little shit and he doesn't have any money because he's got to pay for his wife and child and his income doesn't stretch far enough. And when he's on his own, he's got his pet turtle and he's going out with his friends and just like living his best life. And he's like drained and his wife nags him and his child is really annoying and stuff in the married one. I think that would be so funny. And we're coming back. So apparently this says, God looks after us, let us look after each other, or something to that effect. Thanks, Google Translate. When it says, okay, here's the thing, let's look after each other, it means let a woman look after you. Because apparently you're incapable of even cooking your own meals. You're incapable of, and I can't get past this, buying fucking orange juice for yourself. You can't get the lights working. This like ad makes men look completely fucking incompetent. And maybe I don't want to say maybe Iranian men are incompetent. That's not exactly what I mean. But maybe anyone who knows better or is from Iran, let me know in the comments because I'm very keen to know, because this is so divorced from my own experience. I don't know, but maybe it's like it is so culturally normal for men to marry young and then their wives to perform all of these tasks. Maybe men really do struggle to do things like that. I mean, even okay, there was an American conservative thing going around recently that was like, what do you prefer between the dishes and the laundry? And it was like Matt Walsh and Ben Shapiro and all of those guys, and fucking none of them knew how to do laundry. Adult men with children don't know how to do laundry. So even in American conservative circles, apparently there are some men who are genuinely incapable of certain things because it is culturally normal for mothers to do that for them until they get married and then a wife does that for them. So maybe that's the case more in Iran, and that's why it makes the men in this ad look so fucking incompetent. I can't get over the orange juice. The promises it makes are just kind of, without actually overtly making them, just hinting through imagery, your home will be nicer, which it probably will be. If you've got a stay-at-home wife in Iran, it probably will be nicer. You've got a lovely child who is always good and sweet. You've got a better job. You've got glasses, and now you can drink orange juice. Most importantly, though, your tortoise is gone. That is the worst thing about the whole married side of it. His tortoise is just gone. What happened to his tortoise? Was it like that, you know, that TV show, It's Me or the Dog? Was it like that with his wife? It was like, it's me or the tortoise? She was like, how long do they live? Tortoise might live longer than me. Like, fuck that, it's going. You know, if you want to marry me, the tortoise is gone. I don't know, maybe that was it. So bizarre. He lost his pet and he gained orange juice. I just can't. Here's the obvious thing that we haven't mentioned yet. That was 100% for men. That advert was entirely for men, not just because it had a male protagonist, but there was no give and take. This is let's look out for each other, but where was the looking out for each other? I suppose what a conservative who's pro this kind of content would say is that, oh, well, he was providing financially. But, like, all of the emotional support, all of the doing everything for him, even, like, getting him ready to go out for work in the morning, like, making him breakfast, making him lunch, making him dinner, everything was his wife to him. She's also got all of the childcare, she's arranged this party for him, like, it probably does seem really appealing for a man. I wonder, for a woman, if you're watching that, would you be like, okay, but kind of seems like maybe my life would be better if I was single? This is very, very... This is why you men get a wife, because she will do all these things for you. Yeah, no wonder it's received so much backlash all over the world. There you go, that was a whole thing. That was a whole kettle of fish. And again, I am not against marriage. I know plenty of people who do not want to get married under any circumstances. I know plenty of people who have gotten or are looking forward to getting married one day and are excited about it. I would like to be married. I would be aghast if my married life ended up like this video. Unless I was the man, I suppose. I guess, and then it would be okay, although I'd feel a bit bad that my partner was doing everything for me. Do let me know your thoughts down below on this ad and married life, and just tell me what you think about the tortoise. Justice for tortoise. If you got this far in the video, put justice for tortoise in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more content from me, please don't forget to subscribe. I've got playlists of all kinds of stuff on my channel if you want skeptic content, if you want feminist content. Do consider checking out my behind the scenes channel, Emma Thorne Extra, where I post behind the scenes and vlogs and lifestyle stuff and just have a laugh being me in a goofy way. Less formulaic, less edited, just me being a goofball. I also have a gaming channel, Little Duck Gaming. Do check it out if you like gameplay videos. Again, it is just me being a silly little bean playing all sorts of games. On that note, I also stream live on Twitch at least 3 times a week. I am getting into streaming more often. It's so much fun. I absolutely love the community over there. I play horror games, I play point-and-click adventures, I play retro titles. I've been doing cosplay streams where I play a game in the costume related to the protagonist or a character of that game. Come and follow me at Emma Little Duck. I will be live there in a couple of hours after this video, so you can come say hi. If you enjoyed this content, you can become a channel member. Channel members get comment priority and some silly little emotes of my face and stuff like that. It's just a nice little bonus. Of course, the best way to support this channel is via the Patreon. Patrons get exclusive posts, early merch updates. My Colossal Quackers get a little handwritten thank you postcard from me, and we do a monthly hangout with Colossal Quackers and Giant Chickens where we chat about all the stuff that's gone on this month and what is upcoming. Every patron from Little Duck Up gets an exclusive video or stream every month. Sometimes I have a guest in to talk about something fun, or we do an interview. Quite often with my longer form content, I keep things a bit snappier for YouTube, so I will post a kind of longer director's cut with more of the banter and stuff in over on my Patreon. I wouldn't be able to do all the crazy stuff that I do without those people, so thank you so much to my patrons, and a special big shout out and a thank you to my Colossal Quackers and Giant Chickens. Thank you so much for watching and listening to my self-plugging section. I find it awkward, but I'm doing my best. I'm just a silly little guy. Most importantly, have yourselves a very lovely week, and I will see you really soon.